Hi you guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Aileen. I'm not a professional makeup artist of any kind, but I love makeup, fashion, skincare, and we're here to have fun. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you know I had to go out of town to take care of a few things with the family, and I took a week off YouTube, social media. I was just handling a lot and my face shows the stress. But it's okay. My face is recouping. So today we're gonna play with a bunch of new makeup new to me. So let's get to it. But before we go, like we always say, comment, like, subscribe. Let's get to it because I'm excited to be back. Okay, let's go. So the majority of the products I'm going to be playing with today just so happen to be from Tom Ford, but it's not a full face of Tom Ford. And since this is all new to me, with the exception of a few things that I have dipped into once or twice, it's primarily new. So if it's my first time, or even if it's not, I'm going to give you all my thoughts as I go. So first I'm going to prime my face with, this is new to me, the Touche Eclat Blur Primer from YSL. This was recommended to me by Yadi from Yadi Beauty. And the packaging looks like this. So it is 1 fluid ounce and it has a 24-month shelf life, you guys. And today is Sunday, so it's a busy road day. And I do live pretty close to a major street. So if you hear the traffic, I apologize. So it does have a silicone feeling. It's not too bad, but I do feel it compared to what I've been using. I've been using the Farsali, this one here, the Farsali Skin Tune, the Blur. And it's very serum based, and I've also been using the Hydro Grip, the Milk Hydro Grip, which I really like as far as longevity goes. Let's see if it blurs. It does blur just a little bit. Let me tap. Yeah, it is very silicone-y. It does have, I'm not sure if you can see the gold specks in there, but it doesn't really like come off like a thick glitter or anything. You can barely see it on the face. So this is not new to me, but I am gonna go in with the Boiing traditional concealer. I use this to spot conceal in the shade 2. And you guys, like, this spot concealer is amazing. Like, you're gonna see all this? It's gonna cover it right up. And I know a lot of people say do your foundation and then decide if you want to spot conceal afterwards. But honestly, if it's not the Estee Lauder Double Wear, I'm gonna spot conceal. Okay, do you guys see that? Like, that's a huge difference. Huge. And I just feel more confident. So next I'm gonna go in with the Traceless Soft Matte Foundation by Tom Ford. I have used this a few times. This is in the shade 6 Natural, and I really like this. I've really been enjoying it. It does give the soft matte. It has good longevity too. I wore it when I was out of town in Miami, and God, the weather was bipolar. The little clacking you hear are my Jingle Bell earrings. I'm festive. And I am using the BK Beauty 101 brush, which I'm sure you've heard a lot about. It's just amazing. So are you guys ready for Christmas? Are you guys going in the malls? Are you doing everything online? I'm curious. I'm doing everything online. I didn't even want to go out of town. Like, I took the week of my birthday off so I could do like some small projects around the house and film. And I ended up in Miami, seeing family, taking care of a few things that came up unexpectedly. And let me tell you guys, I left here at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. So the night before, I let the kids go to sleep at midnight because I took the 2 little ones with me. So I let them go to sleep at midnight. So when I hit the road at 4 in the morning, they would sleep most of the way. Well, between stopping for breakfast, lunch, bathroom break, it took me 10 hours, 11 hours to get there. You guys, I went with the 6-year-old and the 8-year-old. They literally fell asleep 30 minutes before we got there. 30 minutes. Like, they behaved in the car ride, but I would have enjoyed, just driving in peace. That didn't happen. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury under eye corrector, and this is in the shade 2 medium. I've tried this once before and I really liked it, but I need to try it a little more. So like I was saying, on the way back, I decided I was going to leave at midnight. So I let them stay up all night and I left at midnight. Well, I take the Florida Turnpike until it runs out and converts to the 75. Well, the entire way after I passed Broward County, which is just north of Miami, the turnpike was under construction. So it all converted to 1 lane. I was exhausted by the time it opened back up. It opened back up for 1 exit, and then the turnpike was completely closed. So I had to get off, take the I-95 for 3 miles, and then get back off and get back on the turnpike. Because if I stay on the 95, it would have added an additional 2 hours to my trip. See, that color corrector is really nice. I'm really enjoying this. So now this is not new, but I don't have a new concealer, so I'm gonna go in with the Forever Skin Correct, and this is in the shade 2N. So they slept. As soon as we left, they slept. But by the time I got back on the turnpike, I was exhausted. Just tired. So I was like, okay, I don't know how long I'm gonna sleep, but just in case, I know there's traffic in Orlando on a Tuesday morning. From everyone heading to work. So I passed Orlando. I stopped at a rest stop and I pulled up next to a police officer. And I said, hey, I have 2 kids in the car. They're sleeping. I'm tired. Do you mind if I park next to you? Because it was like police only parking. Do you mind if I park next to you so I could sleep? He's like, yeah, go right ahead. So I did a few hours of sleep and then woke up and kept chugging. And that ride between the one lane, the turnpike closure, the way back was a 14-hour ride. And the kids did sleep most of the way on that one. So that was a lot better. But you guys, I've just been exhausted. And somewhere in central Georgia, when I got off to put gas, I look pale, like a pale ghost. When I got off to put gas, instantly I got sick. And then my daughter's like, I need to use the bathroom. I was like, well, honey, you gotta put something, a jacket, a sweater, maybe both. Cause it's not 85 degrees anymore. At this point it was like 39. She's like, okay. I take her inside, use the restroom, she gets back, that's it. She's instantly sick. So if you hear it in my voice, I do apologize. Next, I'm gonna go in with, this is the Radiant Perfecting Powder by Tom Ford. And this is in the shade 01 Gilt Glow. So let's give this a shot. So yeah, it was quite interesting, but I did get to see a lot of family that I hadn't seen in a while, because I usually go, my whole family is in Miami. I don't have any family in Georgia. And nobody knew I was going. So I did get to see everyone, surprise a lot of people. I surprised my aunt, my sister, my uncle. Only person I had to tell was my mom, because I always stay at her house when I visit, and she was actually going to be out of town when I was there. So I had to ask her to leave me the key somewhere. So this glow powder, it's nice. It does add like a little luminosity, but like a healthy, I don't know if you can, camera's picking up just a little luminosity, but it looks healthy. I like it. So yeah, it was quite busy. It was also my birthday weekend, so I did enjoy it. I surprised my dad. I told him I was there. And he did take me, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my cousin. It's a group of us. We went to a very nice dinner at Morton's Steakhouse. Really enjoyed it. Okay, sorry. So next, I'm gonna go in with the Tom Ford Glow Bronzer, and this is in the shade 02 Terra. And these Tom Ford products, besides the foundation has a 24-month shelf life, but I haven't seen a shelf life on the other products, not on the box or on the actual product. Does that mean it doesn't expire? Wouldn't that be nice? I'm gonna go in. The bronzer does look light because, you know, I like to be bronzed for days. It looks light in the pan, but it's showing up very nicely. I like it. So you guys can take a look, but Saks off 5th. So my honey got me a bunch of stuff for my birthday on Saks off 5th, because they were having a lot of the Tom Ford stuff is 50% off. So definitely take a look. I know the powder was 50%, the bronzer was 50%, and I believe the Terra bronzer, the large one, is being discontinued. And And it was on sale on Tom Ford's site at one point, and I don't think it still is. But I definitely missed filming. I've missed, you know, being on social media. I just didn't have the time. So I apologize to you guys. It was just, there was a lot going on. I like this bronzer. I think it's a nice winter shade. I honestly prefer to be super bronze. I usually go in with two bronzers. So like a deep one, and then I go over it with a lighter one. This would definitely be one that I would go over. Well, this is new to me as well. And this is the Brow Sculptor with refill. And this is 0.02 ounces, 0.6 grams. It does come with the refill. And let's see if there's a shelf life. It is in the shade Chestnut. And I do not see a shelf life on this. I am going to keep it on the box. In the box, because on the side of the box are the instructions on how to put in the refill. And I'm going to need that. So I have, this is not new to me. This is the Tom Ford Brow Gel. So I used to go in with my brow pencil first and then a clear brow gel. Well, I bought this Tom Ford Brow Gel. It was recommended to me by Jennifer from Alfeisty. And this is in the shade 04 Espresso. Let me tell you, this will highlight hairs you didn't even know were there. It gives a beautiful tint. It's not like super wet formula, so it doesn't like stain and get all ugly looking on the skin beneath the hair. Like it literally just tints the hair. Like that's just brow gel. So I really have been enjoying this. I believe it was in my monthly favorites last month. And honestly, I haven't even filmed a favorites for November, and it's so late in the month. I was supposed to do it while I was off. So let me know if you guys are still interested in that, or if you're just like, I could definitely just do what I loved in 2020 and skip November and then start again in January for December and go from there. It's just late. It's late in the game, Aileen. But life happens. Look at that. Honestly, if you're in a pinch and you don't have time to fully do your brows, this is a great alternative to just throw on some brow gel. So next we're gonna go back in with that brow pencil I was telling you about. So it's like an angled brush or an angled pencil. You go, brows are done. I like the pencil. I like that it's not waxy. I really like the shade. It just took a little longer. I don't know if it's because it's a newer pencil, but you know, when in the beginning where you have to like keep going before you finally see product, that's kind of what it went through. But once I got to the second brow, it went just fine. So next, I have tried this a few times and I'm really loving this. It's the Master Eye Prep and Set in the shade Medium by Makeup by Mario. So I have been using the lightest shade and the powder. I haven't used that darkest shade. Now I'm just gonna set that with the powder. I know some people set their lids, some don't. Honestly, I'm so oily that if I don't, it'll probably be disastrous. I don't even want to try. So next, I do have a few new quads. So the one I decided to go with today is the 24 Photosynthesis. And I will swatch these real quick. This is by no means new, but it was also on the website for $44 instead of $88. So this is what she looks like. And here she is swatched. So pretty. So I'm gonna go into the gold shade with my BK Beauty 201. And this is my first time trying the Tom Ford, the regular formula, the one that's not the wet dry formula. So let's see. They did swatch nicely. The more of the burgundy shade was a little powdery. But once, that was the swatch. Once I went over it again with my finger, it looked just fine. So I'm just gonna put this gold in the transition and buff it up. Next, I'm gonna go into the matte green shade with a Luxie 207. So it's kind of an angled eye brush. It's really good for the outer V. So I typically use that brush to get the color where I want it. And then I go in with the BK Beauty 202 and blend it. So because my eyes are hooded, I am gonna bring that green shade just a little higher. So next I'm gonna go back into the gold with the BK Beauty 201, and I'm just gonna buff that up here into the brow area. Right underneath the brow. Soften that harsh line. So next I'm gonna go into this shade here with my Refer 01. This brush, if you wanna pack on color, so pretty. I wonder, even though it's not the wet dry formula, if I can wet it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that definitely gave it a punch. Very pretty. I do have very little fallout. Very little. And I want to say it was with that last shade. So now I'm going to go into the gold shade with a Refer 02. I'm going to wet it. And I'm going to do my inner corner and bring it onto the lid. I really like that. So here we are. I'm gonna try to darken this outer corner just a tad. Yeah, I really like that. So next I'm gonna go into the matte green shade with the BK Beauty 207. But I want this to be really light. So I'm gonna focus most of the color out here and then start to bring it into the lower lash. I just don't want it too dark all the way across. And then to tie it all together with that same brush and clean that off. With that same brush, I'm gonna go into the gold and just slightly buff that in. So here you are before liner or mascara. Cute. I like this quad. So next is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen Stylo Defining Shade 01. So it's a liquid liner. It has a felt tip and a brush tip. So I'm not gonna do a wing, but I am gonna go right above my lashes and tight line that. Okay, so I went ahead and did the liner. So now let's move on to mascara. This is also new to me. This is the Tom Ford Badass Mascara Volume Sensational. Let's see if this has a shelf life. A 6-month shelf life, which is standard, 3 to 6 months for mascara. This will be my first time using it. So let's see. I prefer volumizing mascara over, I feel like that was clumpy. I do prefer volumizing mascara versus, there is something big and clumpy on here. So I do prefer a volumizing mascara over a lengthening, just because I feel like my length is fine just the way it is. It's a little wetter than I'd like it to be, but that's because it's brand new. You can definitely see a difference. Can you see it? Mascara, no mascara. So there it is with liner on the top and the mascara, no waterline. The mascara did clump very weirdly over here. Like, it took me a minute to fix it. Like, I had to do it with a Q-tip, with one of these little brushes. Like, I don't know if there was just too much on the wand or what it was, because this eye was just perfectly fine. But if you're new to my channel, concealer and mascara, very picky about, very. So we're gonna have to see how this wears. So for my bottom lash line, my holy grail, this little Maybelline mini brush waterproof mascara. So I'm going to use the Dior Pearly Gold eyeliner from the holiday collection on the waterline. Sorry about that. I had to clean these concealer foundation lips I had going on. So here's the finished eye look. I like it. And I feel really festive. The red, the green, and silver, all here for it. So let's try a Tom Ford blush that's in the shade 08 Disclosure. So this is a pinky shade. Let's swatch it. So there it is. I swatched it and also sheared it out like you would a blush. I think I can shear this out a little bit more than it's reflected on my hand. So I'm going to use the Refer 04. It definitely picks up. Oh yeah, we're going to have to buff this a lot. This is very pigmented. So I'm going to go in with the brush I use for the face powder and see. There we go. Whew. Because she was pigmented. Okay. She's still a little pigmented, and I don't even like blush all the way that close because of my large pores, but this one's not insinuating the large pores, so let's try to do this the right way over here. You guys, this blush is highly pigmented. Like a little goes a very long way. Like that, this was one dab and I dabbed off the brush. Like this was like barely touching and I dabbed off the brush. And I'm trying to even it out, but I'm so scared because it's so pigmented. So now I'm gonna buff it. You guys, this blush is beautiful, but we're gonna have to see how the longevity and the wearability, but for pigment, it gets an A+. Okay, so next for highlight, I have the Skin Illuminating Powder Duos. One of them, and this one's in the shade 06 Flicker. There is a highlighter and a bronzer. I wonder if this bronzer will go on darker. I'm gonna dip into the bronzer. That is nice. Not too dark, but it like chiseled my cheekbones just a little. I like that. That's nice. So this is a gold highlight. I'm going in very lightly with the highlight. I'm not one to wear a lot of highlight just because I'm so oily that in a few hours I have a natural highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm just put a little highlight there, a little there, just right here. I didn't go all the way forward. I don't have any new Tom Ford lippies, so we'll go with Victoria Beckham. So this is the Lip Definer Crayon in the shade 04. That's just the liner. And then we're gonna go in with the Victoria Beckham Posh Lipstick, and this is in the shade Sway. This does have a 12-month shelf life, and the pencil had a 24-month shelf life. So let's apply this. Okay, so here we are. So let's let our hair do. Okay, so here we are. Here's the finished look. I like it. So some of these items, obviously, I have to wear and see how I like. I do like how the primer blurred. I just didn't like the feeling. But we'll see how it holds up. We'll go from there. I know I've used this multiple times now. I would say about 4. And I've really been enjoying it thus far. Really been enjoying it. The brow pens, the brow gel, it was in my favorites. I love this. The brow pencil, it's nothing out of this world, but I do love the shade. And it worked really well with the brow gel. Like, it just, I'm liking it. If it wears well, I will really like it. So far, my favorite brow pencil is the Gucci. And if I had to combine 2, like, I like the Gucci all through here and the Hourglass micro one right in the front. Both of them together, it's like a wonderful little cocktail brows, just beautiful. I really enjoyed the liner. It's very black, it's matte. We'll just have to see how it wears. The mascara, I like what it did, but like even over here where I told you it clumped, it still looks crazy. Like they're all like, I don't know, clumped together and crisscrossed, and I don't know what it did over here. But we're gonna have to see how it wears and go from there. The bronzer was a little light, but I really like it. That's the Terra. The Radiant Perfecting Powder, I really enjoy as well. It's not, it doesn't give too much luminosity. Like, you look healthy. Like, really, you don't look oily, you don't look shiny, you don't look glittery, you just look healthy. And I'm down for that. All I have to see is, how do my oils seep through? Like, will it just come through ugly? And I'll wear this all day. I think it's just about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have my watch. It's just about 1 in the afternoon. So I'll wear this all day, and I'll leave a pinned comment or in the description box on how everything wore. I really like the eyeshadow palette. I didn't use that burgundy-ish color, but I used the greens, the 2 greens and the golds, and I like it. It's pretty. I really like that shimmery green shade. Once I wet it, it gave that oomph that I was looking for. So I really like that. The blush is beautiful. It's definitely highly pigmented. We'll just see how it wears. And I really like this lip combo with the Victoria Beckham 04 liner and the Victoria Beckham Sway. And then I mentioned I have been loving this already in the shade medium. And the Skin and Illuminate Duo, the highlighter is gold. I definitely wouldn't wear this shade as a daytime shade, but I'm not really going anywhere. It's definitely more of an evening look with that gold, but I did like the bronzer shade in here. So that is it. That's a full face of all new to me products. Hope you guys had fun. I'm happy to be back, and I don't plan on taking any more breaks. Don't forget, we're all perfectly imperfect. Love you guys. Bye.